Hello, hello, my lovely Padawans, and welcome to all of you Yu-Gi-Oh fans. Today I'm gonna make a deck profile of a deck which was provided to me by one of the members of one of the Yu-Gi-Oh Yu-Gi-Oh Discord groups that I'm in. And that's a bike. This deck was made by darthchaos. He's a cool guy in the Army of Rinlar Discord group. He is among the master builders there, and his deck is called the Tail of Demise, and it's pretty much a 60 card Gandora deck, or also known as a Gandora FTK/OTK deck, which is in itself, it looks pretty standard. There are some weird things, but even though they're weird, they still work. So let's get down to it. For the main deck, we have 3 copies of the really cool looking art Punishment Dragon, and 3 copies of his old self, or his good self, the Judgment Dragon. These are the main Lightsworn and Twilightsworn dragons. Then we have the Gandora cards, 3 copies of pretty much all of the Gandoras. So we have 3 copies of the Gandora Giga Race, the Dragon of Destruction, 3 copies of the Gandora, the Dragon of Destruction, and 3 copies of Gandora X, the Dragon of Demolition. So these are your main cards, and your pretty much your combos are gonna revolve around these guys doing what their effects say, using their effects, making them all powerful. And you can pretty much do some crazy shit if you open well with this deck. Then 2 copies of Wolf, Lightsworn Beast, 3 copies of Fairy Tail Shirayuki, because you need to have cards banished for Gandora to work better. 3 copies of Jane, Twilightsworn General, which I don't know why he put it in. It's not the best Twilightsworn, but you know, it's his deck. Then 2 copies of the Raiden, Hand of the Lightsworn, 2 copies of Lila, Lightsworn Sorceress. Pretty much Lightsworns are for milling, because you need to mill. 3 copies of Eclipse Wyvern, 2 copies of Felis, Lightsworn Archer. Again, I don't know why he has it in. It's one of the weakest Lightsworns, but whatever. 2 copies of Minerva, Lightsworn Maiden. Then 2 copies of Raikou, Lightsworn Hunter. And now for the spells, we have 3 copies of the Solar Recharge, 3 copies of the Lawn Mowing Next Door, aka the grass looks greener. They need to fucking update the picture. 1 copy of the Monster Gate, 1 copy of Reasoning, 1 copy of Foolish Burial, 2 copies of the Charge of the Light Brigade. And now for traps, we have 3 copies of the Beckoning Light, 2 copies of Exchange of Spirit, which again, these can be replaced with something else. 2 copies of the Present card, 3 copies of the Breakthrough Skill, 3 copies of Scrap Iron Scarecrow. That's for the main deck. And the reason, it pretty much the main deck doesn't matter if it's 60 card, because you're going to be milling a lot, you're going to be banishing a lot, so that the Gandora cards are strong. And now for the extra deck, we have 3 copies of the Stardust Dragon, which is funny. It's a good card, but I don't know. Then 3 copies of Michael the Arch Lightsworn, which is actually very good Lightsworn synchro. Then 3 copies of the Dark Rebellion Xyz Dragon, 3 copies of number 101 Silent Honor Arc, and finally 3 copies of Minerva the Exalted Lightsworn, which is the main, you know, Xyz Lightsworn card. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this deck, my lovely Padawans and Yu-Gi-Oh fans. It is called the Fairy Tail of Demise, but it's actually a 60 card Gandora FTK deck, which is not that uncommon. It's not that bad. It's fun when it's, you know, when you get the cards. So yeah, if you guys have any decks that you want me to make a deck profile on, you can find a link to my Discord channel in the video description. You can join my Discord group, and you can pretty much, you know, you can chat with me, you can talk with me, you can play with me, not in a sexual way. And you can also give me your decks so that I can make more videos and deck profiles on your ideas and builds. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, my lovely patrons. I will see you next time, and until then, may the force be with you.